talk to you about these chunky stars. Okay. So these chunky stars, they are, you guys, we've shared a few chunky shapes before, right? We've had the chunky hearts. We've had a few different things, chunky hexagons. Well, this is the chunky star. But the cool thing about this star that I want to show you is it actually measures 7 inches tall. Okay. So from the tip here to the tip here, it's 7 inches tall and it's about 7 inches wide. So it is a good size. It's a really, really nice size. Very, very cute. Still can, because it's chunky, it can stand on its own and they're just fabulous. So I'm going to be creating with these today. I am going to be using some napkins. I'm also going to be using some aluminum tape because that stuff is just super cool. It's so much fun to use. Let's see. And then I want you to see that I've actually painted a couple of these already. I decided, you don't need to sit here and watch me paint. So I went ahead and painted a couple just base coats of paint on these with pure white, which is the color I used was Simplicity from our Country Chic paint line. Oops, it's a little blurry today. Okay, I think it'll still be okay because we're going to be looking mainly down here. Yes. So here's the thing. I thought it would be fun because I want you to realize like chunky things like this, these chunky stars, they'll be great for Patriotic. And I don't know about you, but I pretty much leave my Patriotic out all summer. I mix in some of my other summer decor with my Patriotic and I just leave it out. I also think these would be adorable going into Halloween. I think they could be really cute for Halloween. I think they could be really cute for Christmas. Also, if you wanted to do, maybe some special birthday decor to put on somebody's, desk at work or, out with their cake and all their things, I think that could be really cute too. All right. I think about a baby's room, really cute, right? Just fun little decor. So I think stars are just great for all kinds of things, right? You just ordered yours? That's awesome. Okay. So I think that you'll really, really like these. So I want to get started on them. All right. You guys ready? You're finally off on a Friday. That's great, Elizabeth. Congratulations. Happy day off. That's wonderful. Yeah. Very cute in a child's room. Kids, girls or boys, right? I mean, just could be really, really cute. So today I'm thinking patriotic though. I'm in patriotic mode up here. So I'm going to move this one out of the way. They are solid pine in case anybody needs to know that, about 7 by 7 by 1.5. So they're about 1.5 inches thick, which is just fabulous. So you can see how they just stand so well. They just stand up really perfectly well. So here's what I want to show you today. I was really struggling which way to go with these stars for Craft and Chat today. I was thinking about should I just do napkin art? Should I just do the aluminum tape? Do y'all know what aluminum tape is? We've used it before. I love to use it in projects. It's actually not an art supply. It is actual aluminum tape that you get at like the hardware store or the home improvement store, but it's fabulous for projects, especially something you want a metal kind of look for, that pretty silver metal look. Okay. So then I thought, well, if I'm going to do a couple stars, I guess we could kind of maybe do a little bit of both. Okay. So I want to show you first off, as far as going around the edge of the star. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple options. Around the edge of the star, it could be really cute to do a napkin. Look how cute. It's 1.5 inches, very easy measurement to cut a strip out of, right? But that could be really, really cute. So I'm thinking on one of the stars, I'm going to go around the outside edge with the napkin, and I'm going to do that first. And then on this star, I'm going to take this star around. The tape that I have is just a tiny fraction shorter than 3 inches. So I had to cut these into 1.5 inch strips. And I wasn't sure if I was going to emboss them or not. But do you see how these are going to just go around? And this industrial tape, you guys, is already has adhesive on the back of it, all the things. So if you happen to have, sorry, gotta do reach. If you happen to have embossing folders at home, y'all know what these are, embossing folders, Sizzix, Cuttlebug, Hobby Lobby sells embossing folders that you run through your, like your Big Shot or your Cuttlebug. You can actually emboss designs on here. But I'm going to just use my fingers today. I'm just going to do kind of a wrinkle crinkle method because I like for people to see that they don't necessarily have to have those embossing folders to create with the aluminum tape. Okay? Yes, it's going to be great. All right. Let's start with this one. And then I'm going to talk to you about what we're going to do to the front and the back. Okay. All right. So let's start with this one. I went ahead and just cut a 1.5 inch strip from this napkin. And yes, it's a floral, but it's blue and white. And sometimes I like to just use the colors for Patriotic, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the theme, you know, but I thought I love this floral napkin. I think it's so pretty. And we're going to use a little bit of Mod Podge. So Mod Podge matte is fine for this. Let me pour some in my little tart tin here. And I'm going to grab a brush. So you are going to have to take the layers off of the napkin. I think everybody's pretty aware of that. And my little method for that, I'll do it on this one again. Sometimes I do it and I don't even think about it. But I caught the lick and stick, tap my fingers together and just kind of press, and it just comes apart. This napkin has 3 plies. So we have to remove 2 of the plies so that we can get to just the top tissue. That's where the actual napkin art is. All right, let's go ahead and put these on. And there is no top or bottom to your star. You can start, stop wherever you want. They're perfectly symmetrical, I guess is the right word to say. All right, so I'm loading up the sides of this with Mod Podge. You want to make sure it's covered, got good coverage, good even coverage everywhere. And I'm just going to take this now and kind of start right here at the edge. It's kind of like a road map, right? We're just going to start kind of wrapping it around the edge. If it comes over the side a little bit, all we're going to do is sand that off. Okay. So I'm going to use a chip brush today. It's just easier sometimes. And this chunky wood has a lot of texture on the edges. So I am just going to use my chip brush to pounce everything down. Can you guys see this okay? I feel like we should, let's zoom in a little closer. Okay. Super easy. And we've got one more little side here. We're going to get around as much as we can. I believe if I measured correctly, it's going to take two full strips. And y'all, I think, I'm trying to remember, I think this was a luncheon napkin, a 6x6 napkin. So if you're using a smaller napkin, you'll have to, it's no big deal. You'll just have to cut more strips. And I like it when they just kind of meet in that crevice because nobody can really tell. You don't have to worry about trying to line up pattern, anything like that. And we're going to keep working our way around. So while I'm working my way around on this, I have to tell y'all what's going on with me today. I have Craft and Chat, and then later this afternoon, I'm actually having a birthday party up here. And It's for my granddaughter, Mackenzie, is turning 10, and she just begged and begged and begged. Could she please have a friend party up here at the shop? They want to make 2 projects, 2 crafts. So from 3 to 5 up here, it's going to be happening. 12 10-year-olds. Well, 9 and 10. 12, 9, and 10-year-olds. Whew, it's going to be fun. It'll be fun. But I told Mackenzie, I said, you make sure your friends know I'm only doing this for you. I don't do parties for other people. So it'll be fun. So you guys will have to watch. I'll post some pictures. We're actually doing some pretty cute projects, something, easy that anybody can do. I think they'll enjoy them. I got the blessing from the birthday girl that the projects were approved. So yeah, it should make for a pretty fun day. All right, so you're going to see I'm going to have a little tiny bit left over right here. If you want to overlap it, you can. I'm actually going to just sand it off. So I'm going to dry this really quick. But did you see how cute this is? Look how cute that is with the pattern of the napkin on there. And you guys, if you don't know where to find beautiful napkins, you need to get on the wait list for my Napkin Club, okay? We're fill spots every month. We fill spots, and right now we're filling them from that wait list. So the only way you're going to get in is to go get on that wait list. So I'm going to have Cheryl post a link to the Napkin Club, because if you're not in the Napkin Club, I want you to come and join us. All the napkins I'm showing today have been in a bundle at one time or another. Okay, that's pretty good right here. And let me grab my sandpaper. Just going to use a little bit of sandpaper here. There we go. Perfect. Look how cute that is. Now, if it comes down over the edge a little bit, I just don't worry about that. I think when we, we can sand that off, but I have a feeling we're going to be sanding the edges a little bit when we do these sides anyway. So I will leave that up to you. If you feel like you want to, not every edge needs it. That one just needed it a little bit. This edge needs it just a little bit. So I did pretty good on my measurement. Let me turn it on this side. So what we're doing at her little party is I got canvas bags for each one of them. So we're going to decorate some canvas bags, because I thought a tote bag in the summer, I mean, and kids that age can always use a tote bag for sleepovers or vacation or whatever. And then the project I'm the most excited about is we have a wooden letter for each of their names. Okay, so their initial. And have y'all seen this? It's pretty cool, where you use the Sharpie markers and they can draw any kind of designs they want, any kind of, even just scribbling, whatever they want to, all over it. And then you drip out little drops of alcohol, and then it kind of makes like a tie-dye effect. So I'm kind of excited about this one. I think I'm excited to see how this one goes. I think it'll be fun. Okay, so we are good to go on this one. I'm going to go ahead now and just do a quick top coat just to seal the napkin. And then this can be drying while we do the aluminum tape on the other star. Okay, so basically I'm giving you 2 different looks today, but it's something that, from learning these techniques, you could combine them together. You could use napkins and aluminum, which we might do. I don't know. We'll see. But I just love the look of pattern, and I love that we can add in a little bit of a metal type look as well, embossed metal. Okay, I think I got it all. And it's great because this can just stand over here to dry. We'll stick it over there to dry. All right. So let's talk about this aluminum tape. You ready? I know, I think it'll be fun. I'm excited to see how it goes, Holly. Okay, so I have my metal tape strips here. All right. I went ahead and just cut some. This was actually from some scrap that I had. So I went ahead and cut it. The roll that I have though is this. I try to get the largest width that I can find. Y'all, it's a big roll. This will last a long time. If you buy a big roll like this, it's about $20. So maybe if you have crafty friends, y'all can go in on it together, but this will last a very, very, very long time. Some of you may even have it in your garage and not know it. Your husband may have bought it to wrap pipes or to do something, right? So aluminum tape, it is actual aluminum. So I want you have to be a little careful with it because aluminum, even though aluminum is a very soft metal, it's still a metal. And it could still, if you slide your finger across the edge, you're going to have something very similar to a paper cut, but maybe a little worse. Okay. So I've cut these just into 1.5 strips because I was like, let's just use the scrap. Let's just take care of this scrap. I try to use up what I can when I can. And I'm just going to do what I call the wrinkle crinkle method. All right. So wrinkle crinkle is just like this. I'm just taking my fingers. You'll see that it looks kind of blurry. Let me redo this real fast. Hang on. Sometimes it just gets a little out of focus. Okay. Okay, that's much better. All right. Okay. Straighten this back up. So do you see what I'm doing here? Literally just wrinkle, crinkle, wrinkle, crinkle, right? I just want to create these wrinkles and crinkles. Now, if you want to kind of wad it up like this, you can, but you need to make sure that you don't wad it up in a ball that's so tight that you can't get it, back apart again, right? So we want to keep all that wrinkle and crinkle. It's going to look kind of like that. I'm not sure how many of these strips I'm going to need, so I'm going to go ahead and do maybe like 4 to start. Just your fingers, wrinkle, crinkle. If you have embossing folders, you can emboss it to put an actual design on it. But it's pretty cool. You can do rubbings on it. You can do all kinds of things on it, and it's super, super strong. The tape holds up well. It's all good. You went and bought some? Oh, and there was already some in the basement. Yep. Like I said, it's not an art material. It's not really a crafting material, but it's great for crafting. It's fabulous for crafting, as you're going to see. Okay. So there's that one. Let's do one more. Maybe I should do 5, although I think this probably will be enough. So again, don't wad it up into a complete little ball because it might be hard to get it back out to its, because we're still going to lay it down like a strip. Okay, pretty good. All right, let's start here. So I don't need any kind of glue. Okay, no glue, no tape, nothing, because look, when I take this backing off, it's super sticky. Okay, it's going to be super duper sticky. So I'm going to start kind of right here in a crevice, right? Kind of in the valley there of the star. But here's the kicker. I don't want you to smooth. Okay, I don't want you to smooth. I want you to just press down. Okay, and if you're worried you're going to smooth, you can actually just pounce it with your pounce brush. And that way, because we want to keep the wrinkles, we don't want to smooth the wrinkles back out. We want to keep them. Okay, we're going to bring it around. Just kind of, you can kind of use your fingernail to make sure that it's getting kind of in that little groove there. Again, use your pounce brush if you're afraid you're going to, have too much pressure. If you get it off the edge a little bit, don't worry. I'll show you what we do about that. So we want those wrinkles and crinkles. Okay. And let's start on this end. It's okay if it overlaps. And we're going to keep working our way around. So pressing is fine, just don't smooth. Keeping all those wrinkles and crinkles. Could you use aluminum foil? Aluminum foil is not strong enough. It's going to tear on you. You'd have to use a lot more. This, again, like I said, it's more industrial strength. And the fact that it already has the adhesive on the back of it is a huge, huge plus, because the adhesive is very strong. Aluminum foil is just very soft and very fragile. You know, just the way that you can tear it, all of those things. So I would prefer to use this. And it holds up to sanding. We're going to sand it. We're going to paint it. All those fun things. Oh, I am going to have, oh no, I've got one more. Okay, I think I can get this done. I'll just take this one to the middle. I think I've got enough. And we're going to bring it over here. I'm going to cut off the excess. Hopefully I didn't cut it too short. Nope, I didn't. Okay, good. And now everything is covered. This is going to look so cool. Okay, so remember what I said. It can be kind of sharp around the edges. So here's what I want you to do. We're going to lay this down. I'm going to take like the edge of my paintbrush, and I want you to just kind of press down anything that's kind of overlapped. You can kind of press on the tip, but don't use your fingers for this because I don't want you to cut yourself. Okay. You can use the handle of your scissors. I've done that before. So anything that's up here, we're just gonna press down, and we're gonna do it on both sides. That way we know it's really good and stuck, and we aren't gonna have any kind of sharp edge. Okay, got that part? It's pretty cool, huh? You like it? Yes, it's so cool. So we're going to paint this out a color, and I've been debating back and forth what color to use. You guys tell me, what color do you think we should use on this? Part of me, I'm leaning partly to white or red, because we already have blue and white on this one. So you guys tell me, white or red? And I'm going to get us ready for that part. White, white would be a little bit easier just because, well, no, it'd be fine. Red's fine. All right, looks like red it is. All right, let's use red. And I just, we have a paint shipment coming today. I know several of you are waiting on some paint colors from us to come in, and it's coming in today. So we'll be able to restock the website soon. All right, let's do some red. So when you paint this metal, okay, it's almost like you're kind of pouncing. You kind of want to pounce up and down, because we really want to make sure the paint gets into the nooks and crannies. Because when this paint is dry, we're going to sand it, okay, to expose the silver core of the aluminum tape. So you're just going to pounce. Okay, literally just bounce, just like that. I'll just keep working my way around here. I'm using my Country Chic paints, which are chalk and mineral based paints. They work the best, in my opinion, on anything that's metal. So not really using a brush stroke, just pouncing. I'm taking paint just from the lid. Diane, you're waiting on paint, aren't you? Yeah, there's several people needing certain colors, and we just got wiped out with orders, but it's I think it just came in because I saw the truck drive by. And I heard when they ring our doorbell here, we have a back door, like we have a garage door in the back that goes into kind of the warehouse area. And there's a doorbell back there, so we know when we're getting a delivery. And it was like this when we moved in, but when they ring that doorbell, it plays I Wish You a Merry Christmas. It's hilarious. And we haven't changed it because it does feel like Christmas every time we get a delivery. It's pretty funny. Okay, almost done. Goes pretty fast. Y'all, you can put this aluminum tape on anything, not just wood. You literally can put it on anything. And if you do invest in some embossing folders, it's so pretty because it embosses beautifully. Okay, we did it. Okay, now this is going to need to dry for a little bit. We can dry it with our heat gun if we choose to. Metal conducts heat, so it actually dries pretty fast. But I'm going to sit it over here for a minute because I want to talk to you about the inside of the star. I think this one's dry enough, but I want to let me clean these little paint things up here so we don't transfer. Okay. So let's go back to this one. It's nice. It's dry. All of the things. This color that I just used is called Poppy. It's called Poppy. It's one of the ones we've been waiting to get in. So I made myself a template, guys. And I want to show you. Let me see if I can find the template. Oh, I left it over here on this desk. Hang on. So in my fabric fan club, we've been making these stuffed stars, like fabric stitched and stuffed stars. And we did them with this little different fabrics. And so that's kind of what inspired me to think about this. I went ahead and made myself a little template. And I want to show you how I made it. I'm going to put this right here. I took the wood star, laid it down, and I traced around it. Okay. Traced around it. Let me move this. I traced around the star, and then I just kind of eyeballed the center. All right. I'm kind of an eyeballer. If you want to measure out the exact center, that's fine. I put a little, kind of like a little dot there in the center, and I used my ruler to draw this line and this line. And then I cut this out. Okay. Real super simple. Just cut this out. Trace the star, drew this line to the center, and then just cut it out. Now it can be for either side. You just have to flip it, right? Okay. So super easy to make this little template. And then I pre-cut some napkins, some metal, all the things, right? All the things. And I think it's going to be very, very cute. So let's just play here on this one. So this one has some stars. So I just want to show you. I'm just going to kind of lay them here. so you can see how this works. When you're doing these, you have to make sure that you're tracing the same side. If that makes sense, because we're only going to put this on one side. And see what I mean? Like this would be this side. So we don't want those. We want these. Super easy. So this could be napkin. This could be metal, right? It could, or it could be both. If you wanted to come in here and actually do both, you could do both, right? Isn't that cute? So I think on this one, I was thinking about this one, just doing this one as napkin since we have metal on the other one. So let me take these off, and I'm actually going to put the blue ones on first. So that's this side. So let me make sure I've got it right here. What do you think about that? You can do both sides of your star. You can do them differently. Do them however you want. I got to take off the plies. Okay. Really, really cute. And I like putting kind of the lighter one down first, because then like this red, when the red goes on, I'm not going to have to do any kind of painting or anything. I think it'll be fine. Now I'm not going to be surprised at all if these don't all meet exactly in the center. And by the way, when I traced these out, I used my friction pen so that when I heat set this, when I dry it and heat it, any pin lines that are still showing will disappear. Okay, this side. So do you see what I mean? It's got to be on the same side going around. You've got 5 tips, so you need 5 triangles going one direction, and then your other triangles will have to go the other direction. Did I pull the wrong one? Yeah, here we go. Okay, am I on the right side? Yes. Are they all going to point straight to the middle? Probably not, because Miss Tracy is not the best at cutting. But that's okay. It'll be cute because I'm going to put something in the center. All right, so give yourself a break. If things don't meet exactly, don't panic. Okay, no panicking, because we're going to put something in the center. So I'm not even worried about that. All righty, let's put the first one on. And if it hangs off the edge a little bit, again, we're not going to worry about that, because why? Why are we not going to worry about that? Because we're just going to sand it off. So I'm working on the same side. Yeah, mine definitely aren't going to meet in the center. But my star's going to look beautiful anyway, I promise. Okay, now let's do these. We'll sand the edges off all at the same time. You guys have any questions about it? It's really pretty easy and fun. So if you want to do napkins, gosh, you could do scrap of paper. I mean, you can really do whatever you'd like. And some of these, sometimes what happens is when you trace something, it gets bigger than you really need it to be. That one is really big. Let's put this one over here. It looks like it could use a bigger piece. Oh, 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 it's trying to tear on me. Okay. Yeah, I for a long time, I think I just felt like everything had to be perfect, and I just realized that if you live your life like that, you're just sucking the joy right out of everything that you do. So it's more fun to just embrace the process. There's so many ways that we can, like I said, even like this. If the tips aren't going to meet, but I already had planned for that, so I'm going to have something in the center, and nobody will be the wiser. The other thing I can tell, I actually cut these in layers instead of just like one at a time. I just left the napkin folded and cut them all in layers, and I can see that some of the layers definitely were bigger than others. Trim this one down a little bit. I'm sure you guys will do a much better job at this part. Take that little piece off. Come on. I'll do better on the metal ones because I cut those individually. Okay. Okay. So let's pounce, pounce, pounce. I kind of want to fix this little tiny piece right in here. So I'm going to stick a sliver in here because I do have something for the center, but this little oopsie goes over because my napkin got kind of squinched. There we go. That'll fix that part. And I promise you'll never see this part in the middle. All right, let's dry this pretty well so that we can sand it. And now I'm just going to go around all the edges. This is why I almost didn't sand it earlier, because we're going to go around and sand these edges anyway. A little bit of Mod Podge right there on that tip. And it's up to you how much you want to sand. If you want to see some of that white from the paint coming back through, you can. Which I think is kind of fun. Y'all, I kind of like that little bit of distress. You kind of go around the points. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, now we're going to do what? We're going to seal it. And then we're going to go work on the star that has the metal on it. And while this one's drying. So do you see what I'm doing? I'm kind of assembly lining this a little bit. We're kind of staging them. Oh, it's going to be so cute. Ooh, got one little, there we go. Okay, say bye-bye to the star. Bye-bye, star. It's moving. Okay, here we go. We're coming over to this one. Now, I'm not going to sand this just right at this very moment. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to work on the inside part of this. Okay, we're going to do all the sanding, I think, at the end. So you would think that we would put these on first, the metal pieces on first, but we're actually not going to. And I hope I didn't get these mixed up. Oh yeah, that one goes in that pile because I wasn't sure which triangle I was going to need. We're actually going to put the napkin art on first. And for this one, I decided to use these. These are, it's a fireworks napkin. So it has blue and red on it, which I think is really cute. So we're going to do these because it's going to be easier to stick those down kind of on top of this. And I know some of you are thinking, well, but you got to paint it. Well, I'm going to show you. We're going to work through that. Okay. All right. Let me separate all these. It's really fun. And I hope everybody understands how to make the little pattern. Did everybody get that part, how to make the pattern? My fingers are way sticky, y'all. Let me clean them off. They're tearing my napkins. They're so sticky. Yes, it will be perfect for the 4th, I think. Yes, Christmas. I mean, there's so many things. It'll be so pretty for. So how many of you went and ordered some stars? Have y'all ordered some stars already? All right, that's one that's torn, so I'll be careful on that one. Okay, here we go. You can put down Mod Podge everywhere. It won't really matter. Just as long as you can work quickly before it starts to dry. Isn't that cute? So I'm going to try to do a little better lining these up this time. I'm trying to line them up right here. We'll see if that makes a difference. On my points. A little better. I think it's a little better. This is starting to dry. I'll go a little slower this time. No, they're still not going to line up. Almost looks like a pinwheel, doesn't it? I like this firework napkin. This was in our bundle from last month. I think it looks good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and dry this because we're going to sand this one wherever it needs to be sanded before we put the metal. I'm sorry, we're going to sand it and we're going to seal it before we put the metal tape on. Can anybody guess why we're going to seal it first? Just out of curiosity, can you think of why we're going to do that? Just sanding the napkin part. We're going to sand this and we're going to seal the napkin art because we're going to have to paint those the other little triangles. But we don't necessarily have to paint them right on the star. We could actually paint them before, but it's so much easier to sand them on the project. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, make sure and blow any dust that could be on it from sanding. And now we're going to seal these. So if we do paint them while it's on the star, if the napkins are sealed, if we get any paint on them, it's very easy while the paint is wet to just take a baby wipe and clean it off. And today I'm just going to be doing the fronts of the stars with you, just to make it easy. So let's go over this one more time. I laid down my star and traced it out, the whole entire star. And then I took my ruler and drew a line from the top point to here. I kind of eyeballed the center and drew a little dot. And then from this corner to here, or this one, either one, it doesn't matter. And that's what gave me this triangle. There's probably a better way to do it. I'm sure there's a better way to do it, but this was my way. And I think it's going to work out just fine. I think it's going to work out just fine. Okay. Yeah, I want to protect the napkin when I paint it. So I want to be sure that I can wipe away any paint that gets on there, right? So we could, like I said, there's a couple things we could do. We could paint them off of the star. And maybe that's what we should do. Just for insurance. But if you did paint them on here or some paint got on your napkin, as long as you clean it off while it's wet, you will be just fine. Okay. So let's figure out which, okay, it's this one. So we need these 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's the 5th one? 5. Okay. What are we going to do? Let's have a pop quiz. What are we going to do? I'm doing it right now. Wrinkle, crinkle. We're going to wrinkle, crinkle. You still want these to have some texture, even though they're smaller. It doesn't matter. Use your fingernails, just your fingers. Just, we wanted to give it some texture. No problem, Deborah. You can watch the replay anytime. These are saved right here in my Facebook page, on my Facebook page in my videos. And then also we actually save them in, we have a Club Hub link that we can post where they are all of the past ones are saved. So we're just going to crinkle and wrinkle. Embossing, the embossed ones look amazing, but I always feel bad embossing them on a live like this, a public live, because I feel like people think that's the only way they could use the tape if they had the machine or they had the embossing folders. And I don't want you to feel like you have to have that kind of investment. It's awesome. And it might be something you look into. And if you already have it, if you do it like for your card making, because you can emboss cardstock, paper, all kinds of things. But the metal is amazing. And the embossing, the aluminum tape, I should say, is amazing in the embossing folders. All right, almost done. We'll go ahead and paint them off of the piece, off of the star. I think that's probably just, let's just be safe. Let's be safe. Okay, so when we paint these, we're not going to press down real hard, right? Everybody say yes. Not going to paint down real hard. I'm going to get a smaller mat here to put these on, so it'll be easier for cleanup. And let's go back to our red. a shake. So just pounce on the top. No way to do this without getting some paint on your hands. And don't press too hard because we don't want to crush the wrinkles. Okay. We could have done this in a completely different color, but I already had red on my paintbrush, so we're just going to stick with the red. Okay, I think that's good enough. Joanne, I'm sorry. I am crinkling aluminum tape. We kind of cut out some templates for our stars. We made a little template. And don't worry, you can always go back and watch the replay. The paint is going to dry super fast, y'all, because metal conducts heat. And so that aluminum is just heating up, and it's just gonna dry super fast. See that? Aluminum tape. Yes, like for ductwork. Exactly. It's not really an art supply or a craft supply, but I craft with it and create with it all the time. I love it. Yeah, like your home improvement store, your hardware store, we'll have it. Okay. All right. Let's do this, ladies. You ready? All right, let's peel off the back. It's already going to have that wonderful adhesive on it. Now, the difference with this one is we can't really sand off the edge, right? I'm going to see if one of these fits better in another spot. We can't really sand off the edge. So what are we going to do? I'm going to show you. And remember to just kind of press down. We don't want all those wrinkles and crinkles to go away. Oh, I'm getting off camera. I'm sorry. Here, let me put this down here. Sometimes I forget to look. I forget to look up where I'm at. Yeah, this heat gun, the Crafted heat tool, is that what you got, Carolyn? Yes, it is. It's fabulous. It is fabulous. Okay, let's put this one in place. It's going to look so cool. I did use my chalk and mineral based paints, Country Chic paints, on to paint the metal because they will bond to anything. So in about, it usually takes about 48 hours, they'll be completely cured. And so I don't have to worry that, about peeling. The paint is not going to peel off of the metal. And that's another thing I should tell you is because the paint does harden, the curing process is the hardening process, because it does harden, okay, it's important that we distress it before it completely hardens. Okay, we got to distress it, which means sand it. If we want to see that core, which we do, we got to do that before it completely sorry, I'm looking for grab my sanding block here before it completely hardens. Okay, it's going to be much easier to sand. Okay, so we talked about these little edges right here. There's a couple different things you could do. If you want to cut them off, you could cut them off. Okay, you see, like this little edge right here. If I wanted to, I could just take my scissors and cut that as close as I can get it. Right? So if it's a big piece, if it's a lot, again, just cut. It's going to cut real easy. Cuts just fine. Okay, I think that's the only, oh no, one more here. I tried to arrange them a little better. There we go. Okay. Now, what will we do to the rest of those edges? Do you remember? We did it when we put them on. We're gonna stand it up like this, and I want you to take the edge of your paintbrush, okay, or the edge of your scissors, something other than your finger, okay, and we're gonna press all that down because it can be sharp. And if the paint comes off, don't worry, because we're about to sand. We're gonna sand that edge anyway, okay. So let's make sure that that's all pressed down so we have no sharp edges. Okay, and we are ready to sand. Yay! It's my favorite part. So if you're nervous about the sanding part, yes, I used Poppy for this one. If you're nervous about the sanding part, you can use like a foam sander. You can still use a little bit of sandpaper if you want. I kind of like using the foam sander because I don't want to get in the nooks and crannies. I'm really just trying to expose the silver core, right? On what? The tops of the wrinkles and the crinkles, okay? So the edges, right? The edges and the tops of the wrinkles and the crinkles, and you can go back and forth to decide, how much you want to see. It's going to sand off beautifully as long as you sand it within, before the paint has had time to completely cure. And I'm going to go around all these edges. So just imagine if you did have an embossing folder and you were sanding over it, you'd be sanding over the design of the embossing folder, right? Super cute. So make sure and do your edges, and let's kind of go back and forth different directions to kind of catch the tops of those wrinkles and crinkles. I have to turn it around a little bit. Hopefully you guys this is showing up well on camera. I'll hold it up close here in just a second. Yeah, it kind of looks like a crackle finish, but it's metal. So pretty. Great for patriotic type projects, I think. It's going to get dusty. That's just the dust from the paint. Okay, look at there. We're going to look at it really close. Isn't that amazing? We just made this wonderful texture by just wrinkling and crinkling with our fingers, right? It's awesome. This aluminum tape is strong enough to withstand this. We can sand it. We can get in there. You could even, like I said, if it was embossed with the design, you could really get in there and sand it up. It will hold up, okay? It will hold up just fine. Isn't it gorgeous? And it's even prettier in person because you actually see the texture and you see the light kind of bouncing off of that aluminum. It's so pretty, that silver. So the next thing we have to do, let's kind of clear off some of the dust here. The next thing we have to do is this part. And it's the exact same thing. You're just going to come in and kind of sand over. And I'm probably going to go a couple different directions. So let me go this direction first. Because depending on the direction you go, depends on which wrinkles and crinkles that you hit. right? So this time I'm going to go this way. And I've already sealed my napkin so I can wipe off the dust. Not going to have any issues with that. So you just sand them to the point of whatever you want to see. I think I must have smoothed this one out a little too much, but that's okay. Okay, let's look. Look at that. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. They're so pretty. Do you see it kind of better in the light? I just think it's so, so pretty. All right, how are we going to embellish these? Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a paper towel and kind of wipe off the dust. Lots of dust. You can even be careful about using a baby wipe until the paint is cured because it could take some of your paint back off. But do you see what I'm doing? See how it's just getting all the dust? It's just a dry paper towel. It's fine for that. Okay, let's bring these back over here together, and we're going to talk about how we're going to decorate them, how we're going to finish them. Okay, so very pretty. You could take just napkins, right, to create a really unique star. You can incorporate some aluminum with your napkins to create an even a different type of star. They're both going to be pretty. They're both going to be fine. Okay, I started my glue gun here, and I want to show you that I picked up some blue and white and red stars just at the craft store, right? They're everywhere right now. You can find them, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, just all over. Actually, these, I think I actually got these on Amazon. Did I get these on Amazon? I forget sometimes. So I think these are really cute. This is going to help us with this part right here. So let's start with this one. Okay, let's start with this one. Are we doing okay on time? It's 12:05. Okay, that's not too bad. So what could I put in the middle of this one? Well, I want to put some softness. So if I want to put like some ribbon, I could do maybe a red, white, and blue. I could do one with stars, you know, something like that. So here's what I'm thinking. Let's just kind of look at this. We're going to look. I'm just going to we're going to make a faux bow here. So if we have a faux bow right here in the center, and then we top it with a star, that's what I'm thinking. And I think it's going to be really cute. So let's do it. You ready? You ready? You ready? Okay, to make this bow, we're going to take a piece of twine. Okay, we're going to take a piece of twine. And plus we can sparkle it too. I don't want to forget about that. We can sparkle it, but we wouldn't do that till the end. So I'm going to basically make some loops here. I'm going to do one loop, almost kind of like a figure eight. Well, not really, I guess. There's 2 loops, 3 loops, 4 loops. Okay, just 4 loops. You can use a clothespin to hold it together. That helps me a lot. I'm going to take my twine, using just a red and white baker's twine. I'm going to scoot this over just a bit so that I can tie it off in the center. Let me go ahead and take that off. Tie it nice and tight in the center. Okay, let's cut that off. Really cute. So see, now we're going to have a little bit of softness in the center of this. Cut a little slant in the tails. And then I think it would be cute to go ahead and tie a bow out of the twine as well. Let me turn it upside down. Cute. So if you had a button, you could use a button in the middle of this. If you had flowers, if you wanted to use a flower or something, I'm going to use stars. I'm going to tie a little knot in the end of this tail. I'll hold it up in my hand here in just a second. so that you can see better. Just a really cute way to make kind of a double bow. You see it? Isn't it cute? Very easy way to make a double bow. Now I need to decide what's going to be my top of my star. Just in looking at it, I think I want it to be, this one. So I need to do a little bit more sanding right there. Okay, I'm going to have it be right here. I'm going to take some hot glue and I'm going to kind of do a line of it. Hopefully you can kind of see that, just kind of a blobby line going across. I'm going to hold on to both of my loops here. Oops, got me. And kind of press that in. That just kind of helps the loops to stay separated. Covers up all that mess. I'm not going to see any of that mess, which is great. And then I think this one needs a blue star. I like the blue. So let's put some hot glue right here. And boom. I didn't get it quite in the middle. I'm kind of crafting at an angle. I can go in and fix that. All right, what do we think? Do we like it? I think it's cute. I think it's really cute. And I'm going to take some stickles. I love diamond, crystal, unicorn stickles. They're all the clears. Because now we can go in and we can add some sparkle. So if we want to add any sparkle, I definitely want to sparkle the center star, right? Kind of see that. But I also could come in and add some sparkle onto another part. And I'm thinking about adding it onto the red. So let's see how this would look. I'm just going to squeeze some on. I'm going to take a paintbrush and I'm going to kind of pounce it. So I can still see the color through it. I can still see the stars through it, but it gives me some nice sparkle there. Isn't that cute? I think patriotic projects should have some sparkle on them somewhere. I just do. And I'm not really a fan of loose glitter, so this is how I like to add my sparkle. Where the other one is going to have the metal on it, right? So the metal kind of adds the sparkle because it reflects the light, right? The aluminum, the silver. Come on, hop up. Look how pretty that is. Can you see it all? I'll try to get good pictures. It's so cute. And of course, depending on where you're going to put it, I actually would decorate the other side too, so that when people see it from both directions, both sides, it's going to look awesome. Okay. Doesn't it look great? And now we don't see the center, so nobody has to stress over their points meeting. I don't want anybody stressing over that. Oh, I think it looks great. So cute. Okay. One more peek at this one. Got a lot of sparkle going on. Love it. Love the chunkiness of it. And I think the floral looks great. I like the flowers. And I'll leave this out all summer. I think it'll be so cute. Okay, so this became this. I love that. This chunky wood star, 7 by 7 by 1.5. It's a really good size. I'm going to set this one to the side to dry, and let's come back to this one. So do you see what I mean? Like, we've already got kind of some sparkle action happening here. But if you want to go in and add more, you know, you definitely could. Okay. I think I'm going to do the blue stars on this one because we have a lot of red going on. These ribbons I just got at Hobby Lobby. That's they were just kind of in my crafting stash. So stickles for sparkle. I love it. Okay, this one, I'm kind of thinking this. What do you think? Do you like this one? Just to bring out more blue. Oh, I'm going to still use the red baker's twine. Let's get our baker's twine ready. Our clothespin ready. So again, a loop. A loop. This one is different though, because look, I'm going to have to go backwards. Instead of going like this to make a loop, I'm going to go under to make a loop. And then on this side, I'm going to go back over. And that way I have stars on every loop. I feel like I should show that one more time. Let me show that one more time. I want the stars showing on every loop. Okay. Here's the first loop. Here's the second loop. So watch on this one, I'm going to go underneath to make my loop. Okay. And then I'm going to come back. And now all my stars are showing, right? I have stars showing on every loop. And let's cut this off. Let's hold it with the clothespin. Sorry, almost drifting back off camera again. And then I don't do it all the way tight. I kind of slide it over. I want to make sure I'm kind of in the middle. And then a nice tight knot. And all my loops have stars. That's kind of problematic sometimes with a ribbon that only has a pattern on one side. The stripe, the red, white, and blue stripe was on both sides. So, and then if you'll turn anything you want to do when you're making a bow, if you'll turn whatever it is upside down, your tails will naturally wind up going upside down. I don't know how, but it just works. Let's pull these loops in a little bit. Okay, show it to you. Isn't that cute? I'm all about the easy when it comes to bows and stuff because, man, bows can cause people a lot of stress. Tie my little knots. Trim a little slant. All right, let's get this on. Again, I'm going to kind of go like a, I don't know, 1.5 inches or so across. And I'm going to kind of pull the loops. I'm separating them with my fingers a little bit because that way when it goes down in the glue, they'll stay better separated. You know what I mean? They won't try to go back together. Stick your hands inside the loops and kind of press into the glue. So cute. And I think this one, I'm going to give a white star. What do you think? I think the white really pops. And here goes the white star. Let's go ahead and sparkle the star. And there we go. Isn't it pretty? I think it's gorgeous. I love it. I think they're both so pretty. And now you have two. Basically, I was able to show you, right? it's one star, right? One chunky wood star, but showing you how you could take your paper napkins, even if you want to use a scrapbook paper or something like that, you get a really beautiful star, right? You can have a really beautiful star, add some sparkle to it, all the things. Very, very pretty. But you can also achieve a beautiful star by using the aluminum tape. And I just think, especially with patriotic projects and things, it's just such a cool look, right? So they're both equally gorgeous. They're both equally beautiful, and they're both going to look amazing with my other patriotic decor. And this was fun. I hope that you had fun.